Picture this. It's the 22nd of the month. You just got paid 5 days ago, and somehow, you're already doing the mental math on what you can afford for lunch. Not dinner at a restaurant, lunch. Like, can I do the $8 meal deal, or am I eating what's in the freezer? And here's the wild part. You're not broke. You have a job, a decent one. You make more than your parents did at your age. But every single month you arrive at the same place, nearly zero, wondering where it all went. If that sounds familiar, I want you to know something important. That's not a you problem. That's a knowledge problem. And today, we're fixing it. Welcome to Smart Invests, and I spend way too much time thinking about why smart, hardworking people can't seem to get ahead financially. If you're someone who earns a reasonable income but still feels like you're running on a hamster wheel, money in, money out, nothing sticking, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Because today, I'm breaking down the core rules that actually separate people who always have money from people who are always one expense away from a crisis. And I promise you, it has almost nothing to do with how much you earn. The income myth. Here's the thing most finance content gets completely wrong. They act like income is the answer. Like if you just made more money, everything would work out. But look at this stat. According to a 2024 survey by PYMTS Intelligence, nearly 36% of people earning over $100,000 a year are still living paycheck to paycheck. Let that sink in. 6 figures, paycheck to paycheck. Meanwhile, there are people making $42,000 a year who have 3 months of savings, no credit card debt, and are quietly investing every month. The difference isn't the number on the paycheck, it's the system they're using, or not using. Here's what most people don't realize. Money without a system just disappears faster. A higher income doesn't fix broken habits, it just makes the leaks bigger. Think of it like this. Imagine you have a bucket with a hole in the bottom. Pouring more water in doesn't solve the problem. You still end up with an empty bucket. You have to patch the hole first. That's what these rules do. They patch the holes. Know where your money actually goes. I'm not going to tell you to cut your coffee. I'm going to tell you something more uncomfortable. Most people have no idea where their money goes. Not a rough idea, not an estimate, no idea. The average American household spends around $276 per month on subscription services, according to a 2024 report from Rocket Money. That's over $3,300 a year. And when surveyed, most people guessed they spent about half that. That gap between what you think you spend and what you actually spend is where financial stability goes to die. So here's the first action step, and it's stupidly simple. Track every dollar for 30 days. Don't change anything yet. Just watch. Use your banking app, a notes app, anything. Just become aware. Here's the psychology behind why this works. When you know you're watching yourself, your behavior changes. It's called the observer effect, and it applies to money just as much as it applies to quantum physics. The act of tracking is the intervention. Within 2 weeks, you will find money you didn't know you were losing. Guaranteed. Pay your future self before anyone else. Now, you might be thinking, I'll start saving once I have more room in my budget. And I say this with respect. That's the trap. There is never more room. Expenses expand to fill whatever income you have. It's not a character flaw. It's just how human psychology works. Researchers call it Parkinson's law of money. And it means if you wait until the end of the month to save what's left, you will find nothing left. The fix is simple, but it requires a mindset shift. Savings is not what's left over. It's the first bill you pay. The moment your paycheck hits, before rent, before groceries, before anything, a percentage moves to a separate savings account. Even if it's 5%, even if it's $75. Here's why this matters mathematically. Let's say you're 28 and you set aside just $200 a month into a high-yield savings account or index fund, averaging 8% annual returns. By age 58, that's roughly $298,000 from $200 a month. Now, let's say you wait until 38 to start the same habit. Same $200 a month, same returns. By 58, $117,000. You lost $181,000 by waiting 10 years.
The amount matters less than when you start. Start now. Automate it so it happens without you having to decide every month. Because willpower runs out. Systems don't.
Build the cushion before you build the castle. This is where it gets really interesting and where most people's financial plans fall apart before they even begin. People skip straight to investing. They're excited, they're motivated, they open a brokerage account, they put in $500, and then their car breaks down for $900 and they pull it all back out, possibly at a loss, definitely with fees. Without an emergency fund, every unexpected expense becomes a financial crisis. And here's the thing about financial crises. They don't just cost you money. They cost you momentum. They cost you confidence. They make you feel like the whole system is broken when really you just skipped a step. Your first target? $1,000 in a separate, untouchable account. Not $10,000, $1,000. A 2023 analysis of household financial emergencies found that most common crises, a car repair, an ER copay, a broken appliance, land under that threshold. $1,000 won't make you rich, but it will stop most emergencies from becoming disasters. Once you have that, build to 1 month of expenses, then 3, then 6. That fund is not an investment, it's insurance, and having it changes how you make every other financial decision. You stop acting from fear, you stop making desperate moves, you start thinking clearly.
Stop buying things that cost you money every month. This one is going to sting a little, but I'd rather you hear it here than figure it out 10 years from now. Most people's biggest financial drain isn't one big purchase. It's dozens of small ones that quietly bleed them out every month. I'm talking about the car that's too expensive for your income level, and the insurance, the gas, and the maintenance that come with it. The subscriptions you forgot you had. The monthly fees you stopped questioning. The "it's only $12 a month" charges that stacked together add up to $200. Here's the exercise. Go through your last 2 bank statements, highlight every single recurring charge. Then ask yourself 2 questions. Am I actually using this? Is the value worth the cost? Cancel what doesn't pass. Downgrade what barely passes. Keep only what genuinely earns its spot in your life. Now, and this is important, I'm not saying never spend on things you enjoy. A streaming service you watch every night? Keep it. A gym membership that genuinely keeps you healthy and sane? Keep it. The goal isn't misery. The goal is intentionality. Spending on what matters, cutting what doesn't. Here's what most people don't realize. Cutting what you don't value isn't sacrifice. It's just stopping the waste. And that freed up money? That goes toward your future. Use debt as a tool, not a lifestyle. Look, credit cards aren't evil. Used correctly, they build your credit score, earn you rewards, and provide real fraud protection. The problem is most people use them the wrong way. The average credit card interest rate in the US right now sits around 21%, according to the Federal Reserve's most recent data. That means if you're carrying a $4,000 balance and making minimum payments, you're not paying off $4,000. You're paying off closer to $7,000 or $8,000 by the time interest is done with you. The rule is simple. If you can't pay it off in full at the end of the month, don't put it on the card. Full stop. And if you're already in credit card debt, stop adding to it immediately. Then use the avalanche method. Pay the minimum on everything and throw every extra dollar at the highest interest rate balance first. Once that's gone, roll that payment into the next one. It's methodical. It works. And every time a balance hits 0, that's real momentum. Debt-free isn't just a math thing. It's a breathing room thing. It's options. It's the ability to take a risk on yourself because you're not already bleeding out every month. The bigger picture. Build a life that doesn't need escape. Here's something no one in personal finance likes to say out loud. A lot of overspending isn't really about money. It's about coping. Stressful job, shopping feels good. Boring weekend, online cart fills up. Feeling stuck, a new thing feels like progress. Retail therapy is real, but it's also expensive, and it doesn't fix the underlying problem. It just delays it. A 2023 study in the Journal of Consumer Psychology found that people with higher reported life satisfaction made significantly fewer impulsive purchases at the same income levels as those who were dissatisfied. Happiness doesn't just feel better, it's literally cheaper. So invest in the things that actually fill you up, the relationships that energize you, the work that feels meaningful, the routines that make you feel like yourself. When your life has purpose, you stop needing to buy a feeling. Money becomes a tool instead of a crutch, and that shift changes everything. So let's bring this home. Financial stability isn't about earning more. It's about building a system that works whether you're motivated or not, stressed or not, having a good month or a bad one. Track your money. Pay yourself first. Build your emergency cushion. Cut what's draining you silently. Use credit intentionally, and build a life you actually want to live. These aren't complicated, but they are uncommon because most people are waiting for more money to fix their money problems, and that day never comes. You don't need more income to start. You need a better system, and now you have one. If you found this useful, drop a comment with the one rule you're going to apply this week. I read every single one. Subscribe to Smart Invest for more content like this, and I'll see you in the next video.